Good morning, students. So in the last lecture, we solved some questions on cloze test. So let's continue further and solve some more questions and even discuss some previous year questions asked in your IBPS examination. So without any further ado, let's begin. So now let's continue further from where we left. So here's the next question. Try solving it. So is it done? Let's discuss. Let me first read out the complete paragraph. Nasir Al-Khadir, CEO of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, dash bracket said on Saturday that a decision to expand the World Cup to 48 teams would be taken only if Qatar and FIFA agree, and that it will not be a dash bracket one-sided decision. Inverted commas open. If it remains a 32 team World Cup, comma, the decision will take place due to a dash bracket agreement between Qatar and FIFA, comma, no one will singularly take this decision. We are studying and looking at it, comma, and want to do what's best for football, full stop. There are a lot of dash bracket positives by expanding it to 48 teams, comma, as well as a lot of positives of keeping it at 32, inverted comma closed. Al-Khatir told Select Media, full stop, the planning right now is for a 32 team World Cup, he said. The final decision will be announced at the FIFA Congress to be held in Paris on June 5. The FIFA Council in March had discussed the feasibility study that looked at the possibility of expanding the dash bracket contest, full stop. FIFA President Gianni Infantino had said the study indicated it was possible to make it a 48 team affair subject to certain dash bracket conditions, full stop. One of the conditions includes that while Qatar will remain the main host nation, comma, a few matches will have to be hosted in neighboring countries as well, full stop. That becomes a dash bracket difficult task for the organizers due to the Gulf blockade dash bracket put on Qatar by Saudi Arabia, comma, the United Arab Emirates bracket UAE, Bahrain and Egypt. So here's the first question. Which of the following word fits the blank labeled as 1? So as you can see, the sentence suggests that the blank must contain a word that means said. So let's look at the meanings of the options given. So first one is accorded. So it means to grant or give. Next is acquitted. It means to free someone from a criminal charge by a verdict of not guilty. So, acquitted is to free someone from a criminal charge by a verdict of not guilty. Clear? Now, moving on, next is asserted. It means to state something or to say something forcefully. Fine. Next is apprehended. It means to understand, or perceive, or grasp. Fine. And last but not the least, abstain. It means to refrain from doing something. So clearly, option C, that is asserted, is the correct answer. It fits the blank perfectly. Is it clear? Now coming to the next question, which of the following word fits the blank labeled as to? So again, the sentence suggests that the blank must contain a word that means one-sided. So again, let us look at the meanings of the words given in the options. So first one is bilateral, meaning involving or affecting two or both sides, comma, parties or countries. Now next is multilateral, that is involving more than two parties, comma, groups or countries. Clear? Now next one is unilateral, meaning involving or affecting one side or group or country only. Now next is omnipresent, that is present or having an effect everywhere at the same time. Or widespread. So clearly, the only word that fits the blank is unilateral. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. Fine. Now, moving on to our next question. Which of the following word fits the blank labeled as 3? So again, if we look at a sentence, it suggests that the blank must contain a word that means agreement. Fine. So let's analyze the meaning of the words given in the options. So first one is convulsion. It's basically a sudden, comma, violent, comma, irregular, or you can say shaking movement of the body that cannot be controlled, comma, often caused by illness. Clear? Now, next is consensus, meaning a general agreement. Moving on, next is comprehensive, meaning including or dealing with all or nearly all elements or aspects of something. Clear? Next is appanage, that is a grant or benefit or right belonging to someone. Last but not the least is astute, meaning having or showing an ability to accurately assess situations or people. So clearly, consensus is the word that we are looking for. It means a general agreement. Hence, the correct answer is option 2. So is it clear? Now, coming to our next question. Which of the following word fits the blank labeled as 4? So again, we need to find the word that is closest to the word given. That is, basically we need to find synonym of the word positives. So again, let's look at the meanings of the words given. So first one is meritorious, meaning deserving great praise or reward. Next is fruit. We all know its meaning. Moving on, next one is wit, meaning a very small part or amount. Moving on, next is perks, meaning benefits. Next is chaff. It means the husk of corn or other seeds separated by threshing. Basically, it's used for rubbish, garbage, or something worthless. So clearly, the only word that fits the blank is perks. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Clear? Now, coming to our next question, which of the following word fits the blank labeled as 5? So, again, the sentence suggests that the blank must contain a word that means contest. So, let's analyze the words given in the options. So, first one is constraints, that is a limitation or restriction. Next one is concord, that is an agreement or harmony between people or groups. Next is tournament. It is a series of contests or matches between a number of competitors. So clearly it fits the blank. Hence option C is the correct answer. Now moving forward to our next question. Which of the following word fits the blank labeled as sick? So again, we need to find a word that is closest to the word given or similar in meaning to the word that is conditions. So let's look at the meanings of the words given in the options. So first one is stipulations. It means a condition or requirement. So clearly it fits the blank. Hence option A is the correct answer. So let's discuss the meaning of other words given in the options. It will help you improve your vocabulary. So the next word is stimulations. It means to encourage something to grow or develop. Next, stirrings. That is an initial sign of activity, movement or emotion. Next is strivings, that is make great efforts to achieve or obtain something. Last one is surreptitious, that is done secretly without anyone seeing or knowing. Fine, so is it clear? So option A is the correct answer. So now coming to our next question. Which of the following words fit the blank labeled as 7? So, as you can see, the sentence suggests that the blank must contain a word that means difficult. So, let's look at the meanings. So, first one is daunted. It means to make someone feel intimidated or apprehensive. Basically, to make someone feel slightly frightened or worried about his or her ability to achieve something, basically to discourage. Clear? Now next is daunting, meaning seeming difficult to deal with. Clear? Next is undaunted, just the opposite of daunted, that is not intimidated or discouraged by difficulty or problems. Next is dauntless, that is showing fearlessness and determination. Next is diffident, that is modest or shy because of lack of self-confidence. So clearly the only word that fits the blank is daunting, that is seeming difficult to deal with. Therefore the correct answer is option B. Now coming to our last question. Which of the following words fit the blank labeled as 8? So this one is your homework. Do this on your own. And its answer is option D. So do this one on your own. It's your homework. Cool? So now moving on, let's solve some previous year questions asked in IBPS PO examination. So here's the first question. Here's the direction given. In the following passage, there are blanks, each of which has been numbered. These numbers are printed below the passage and against each 5 words are suggested, one of which fits the blank appropriately. Clear? So, here's a question. It was asked in IBPS PO pre 2021. Try solving it on your own. So is it done? Let's discuss. Let me first read out the entire passage. As pandemic restrictions and lockdowns start to end, many retailers are finding themselves at a dash between welcoming customers back inside and keeping their frontline employees safe. Plexiglass shields around registers and signs dash physical distancing are all meant to keep employees safe, but they also reduce interactions with customers. And while some employees feel comfortable returning to work, some retail employees are experiencing anxiety over customer dash due to lifting of mask mandates when less than one third of the US population has been fully vaccinated. Addressing these challenges is critical in order for in person retail to bounce back from the pandemic. Research from before the COVID 19 crisis found that 90% of customers would rather leave a store empty handed than ask for assistance. Full stop. Now, with so many necessary dash to interactions, how can retailers subtly signal to shoppers which employees are more comfortable closely assisting them? Question mark. It may dash to employ dress codes. Our pre-pandemic research on employee apparel and shopper approach intentions show that the formality of employee clothing signifies expertise and encourages shopper interaction. Full stop. Participants in our studies were almost twice dash interacting with a formally dressed employee as one who was informally dressed. So, here's the first question. Find the appropriate word in each case. So, answer to the first question is option B, that is crossroads. If you observe carefully, an idiom is used. The correct idiom is at a crossroads, which means at a point of decision or a critical juncture. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Now, moving on, answer to the second question is option C, that is advising. So, basically, grammatically, advising and proposing seems plausible. Of these, we can rule out proposing on contextual grounds. The C would be the correct choice. Now, moving on, next is question 3. Find the appropriate word in each case. So, given the context, we are talking about the anxiety over contact with customers. Thus, the most suitable choice is interactions, which means communication or direct involvement with someone or something. Thus, the correct answer is option D. So, is it clear? Now, moving forward, answer to the fourth question or fourth blank is option C, that is barriers. So, contextually, the sentence is talking about various problems which hinders communication. Also, we are talking about more than one issue. Thus, the word that would fit blank 4 would be plural. Hence, only barriers is contextually as well as grammatically correct. Now, next is question 5, that is fifth blank. So, again, on reading the paragraph carefully, we can infer that in case of communication in post-pandemic world, employees' dress code will be decisive. Thus, we need a phrase that means decisive. Hence, looking at the options, come down is the most appropriate phrasal verb here as it means to reach to a decision or recommendation. Therefore, option E is the correct answer. Now, answer to the next question, that is blank 6, is option B, that is as likely to. So, again, on reading the passage carefully, it is clear that we are talking about what is definitely going to happen when it comes to communication with employees, and we use likely to indicate that something is probably the case or will probably happen. Thus, it will fit perfectly and is the correct choice. Hence, B is the correct answer. So, is it clear? So, that's it for today. We will continue further in the next lecture. Thank you.